Title talk is a current event in Los Angeles, but in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it is but a reminder of things long past. The once great Packer dynasty has washed away like a sandcastle, and last Sunday, the hopes for a new fortress were swamped by a wave of cocky San Francisco 49ers who defeated the Packers 26-14. Last season, the 49ers' running attack was the second worst in all of football. But hopefully, by this season, Delvin Williams, number 24, will have gained enough experience to make runs like this one a routine occurrence. Williams' touchdown was the longest scoring run of the week. In St. Louis, the Cardinals opened with 5 field goals and a 15-0 lead. While the Birds were footloose, the Packers were performing like footstools. Even this apparent Packer score by Ken Payne was called out of bounds, and a victory boogaloo became a symbolic bump and bobble. The Packer pattern of ineptitude was consistent throughout the afternoon, and each new disaster spelled opportunity for the Cardinals, who flashed to an easy 29-0 win. While one young quarterback had his day, another one, only 2 years older, number 14, Ken Anderson, at 27 years of age, became the all-time efficiency rating leader, leading Cincinnati to a 28-7 win over the Packers. But more important for the Bengals, a running back, double Heisman winner Archie Griffin, number 45, had his best day as a pro. If Griffin realizes his potential, Anderson will be that much more effective. Indeed, the Bengals are all set at quarterback. The Packers are not. Lynn Dickey had one pass intercepted and returned 53 yards for a score by Ken Riley. And later, Tommy Casanova repeated Riley's act for 33 yards, scoring for the second straight week. For Dickey, it was a terrible day. Just 5 completions on 20 attempts, 5 times sacked, and 1 peculiar incompletion. But Dickey, a relatively new starting quarterback, need not be embarrassed. There were big plays in Green Bay, too, where the opening kickoff set the tone for Rick Forzano's last day as coach of the troubled Detroit Lions. James Hunter yanked Steve Odom down just short of the end zone. But the Packers took it in from there to lead 7-0 after the first 47 seconds of play. But in the second quarter, Greg Landry and the Lions offense scored only their 3rd and 4th touchdowns of the season. And it appeared that Bart Starr's Packers were the ones who needed help. Dexter Bussey scored before losing the ball, but this was just about the last break the Lions got, as 8 times the Packer rush got to Landry, and number 74, Dave Roller, was pretty pleased with it all. Before last week, Green Bay was last in offense in the conference, and last Sunday, against the NFC's #1 ranked defense, Lynn Dickey could complete only 3 passes for 11 yards. But one of the 3 was the touchdown pass which put Green Bay ahead in the 4th period, 17-14. More important than the passing game to Bart Starr's Packers was the running of Willard Harrell, number 40, and the blocking of Barty Smith, number 33, who replaced John Brockington at fullback. .58 Willard Harrell, the second-year runner from the University of the Pacific, gained 111 yards rushing, and also threw the pass which clinched the Packers' first win and Rick Forzano's last loss, 24-14. Green Bay Packer head coach Bart Starr has often told his team that to win football games, you have to win the fourth quarter. Taking him at his word, the Packers spent the first three quarters watching the Seattle Seahawks build a 20-7 lead. Green Bay's offense, which is the weakest in the NFC, ran true to form as they could neither move the ball on the ground or through the air. But in the fourth quarter, the Packers suddenly came alive. Quarterback Lynn Dickey spread Seattle's defense with some short passes and then sent Eric Torkelson, number 26, charging into the gaps. Green Bay's running attack was suddenly rolling along like Patton's army, and the Packers smashed through Seattle for 2 touchdowns in the final period to win the game 27-20. The disappointed Seahawks left Wisconsin still looking for their first win. Dick Vermeil, the Eagles' hard-bitten, hard-chewing coach, saw victory number 3 within his grasp. Far-fetched? Not really. Under quarterback Lynn Dickey, number 10, the Packer offensive bark has been as feeble as its bite. Stone Age conservatism and stone-cold hands marked a Green Bay attack that ranked dead last in the NFC after 5 games. But facing an Eagle rush that one coach said couldn't penetrate tissue paper, the Packers thrived. Number 85, Ken Payne, caught his first touchdown pass, an astounding fact considering he grabbed 58 passes a year ago. Dickey, a 41% passer, caught backs like Willard Harrell, number 40, in mismatches with Eagle linebackers all afternoon as the heretofore stodgy Packers turned stunning and won their 3rd straight game 28-13. One quarterback who thrives despite a hard frontal assault is Oakland's Kenny Stabler. Three times last Sunday, Stabler withstood Green Bay Packer pressure long enough for touchdowns, which earned his Raiders an 18-14 victory. Utilizing the talents of receivers like Cliff Branch, number 21, Dave Casper, and Fred Biletnikoff, Stabler has carved his mark on secondaries throughout the league. These days, NFL officials appear to be outthrowing the game's glamour men, the quarterbacks, resulting in a trend which last week again disgusted more than one interested observer and turned forward progress into disheartening retreat. At the heart of the problem, angry players see their skills being challenged by the repetitious infractions, prompting one such individual to take matters into his own hands. Detroit's Charlie Sanders' solution was really very simple. Penalize the officials for penalizing the players. A thought, though well received by coaches and players alike, generally found to be unacceptable by members of the officiating squad, who saw little humor in it. On this Sunday, however, possibly the biggest crime didn't even draw a flag, as the Detroit Lion defense vandalized the Green Bay Packer offense by stealing 2 Lynn Dickey passes, forcing 4 fumbles, and leaving them without a touchdown. The Lions' mastery on defense was matched by their offense, which sailed on lengthy Greg Landry completions to a convincing 27-6 win. Offense combined with defense to produce Detroit's blueprint for victory, and it was a similar plan which enabled Dallas to construct a triumph over arch-rival Washington. In Milwaukee, the Packers faced the New Orleans Saints in a seesaw game which remained close throughout. Eric Torkelson gave Green Bay an early lead, but when quarterback Lynn Dickey went for more, he was hit as he threw, and the resulting duck fell into the waiting hands of linebacker Jim Merlo, number 57, who trundled in for his second touchdown of the season. Just before the half, Lynn Dickey and the Packers took the lead once more, but not without a little help from New Orleans secondary. Rich McGeorge was the hero of the moment for Green Bay. But for every hero, there are always those members of the opposition whose thoughts are not concerned with glory. On the second play of the second half, a Bobby Douglas scramble ended with the Packers catching another break as the Green Bay lead increased to 10 points. Bobby Douglas has been called many things, but never a quitter. And in the third quarter, he led the Saints on 2 successful touchdown drives. New Orleans led 27-23 until late in the fourth quarter, when number 40, Willard Harrell, made the difference for Green Bay. Willard Harrell helped the Packers to their 4th victory and the struggling Saints to their 4th consecutive loss, 32-27. Early in the year, Bart Starr's Packers were having similar problems in execution. But in winning 4 of their last 6, Green Bay seemed to be moving in the right direction. That was up until last week, however. The Chicago Bears cashed 2 early Packer fumbles and were off to a 14-0 lead. But the Pack soon got its execution back, and while the Bears could put no more points on the board, Green Bay began to close in. A 27-yard touchdown pass, Lynn Dickey to Ken Nuri of Payne, and 2 field goals brought Green Bay to within 1 point. But just as the Pack was creeping back, Roland Harper's run clinched the Bears' 5th victory. While Harper had the thrill of the clinching touchdown in a 24-13 Chicago win, his running mate, Walter Payton, flew to his 1,000th yard, the first back in the NFL to soar to that mark this year. Last Sunday in Milwaukee, the Packers gave the Vikings headaches. As Fran Tarkenton said, their defensive line was just exceptional. Everybody tries to earn their reputation against a good team like ours. The score was tied at 3, with just a half-minute left in the second quarter when Tarkenton and Chuck Foreman pulled off this 25-yarder on 4th and 21. With just 6 seconds left in the half, Tarkenton finally put Minnesota on top with this pass to running mate Robert Miller, number 35. In the second half, the old Statue of Liberty play put Chuck Foreman back in business. Chuck Foreman needs only 58 more yards for another 1,000-yard rushing season. And he has also caught an even 50 passes for another 500-plus yards. Chuck Foreman is one big reason the Vikings clinched their 8th division title in the last 9 years. Another reason was Fran Tarkenton's 303rd career touchdown pass. It went to Ahmad Rashad in the fourth quarter as Minnesota squeezed past Green Bay 17-10. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, where the playoff picture has been out of focus for a long time, the Packers were moving the ball through the air over the Bears' secondary. With number 19, Carlos Brown, taking over for the injured Lynn Dickey, the Pack outpassed Chicago by over 100 yards. In fact, wide receiver Ollie Smith, number 89, accounted for more passing yardage than all of the Bears receivers put together. But all of this air action netted Green Bay only one score on this Brown to Ken Payne strike, and happy hula. But in the end, the Bears matched that score with a 49-yarder from number 7, Bob Avellini, to rookie wide receiver James Scott, added 3 Bob Thomas field goals, and evened their record at 6-6 by the margin of a 16-10 win. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, the Green Bay Packers were making life tough for the Vikings as Ollie Smith's catch set up a 6-6 tie. A little impromptu chest massage kept the Packer heart beating until the beginning of the fourth period. In the meantime, the Vikings displayed a routine that was part Marx Brothers, part Keystone Cops, and minimally successful when one considers the energy expended. Late in the game, however, the Purple Gang got back into grinded-out football, a duller but more effective routine. Robert Miller's dash set up the second of Chuck Foreman's short touchdown bursts as the Purple Horde notched victory number 10, 20-9.
At season's end in Atlanta, in a game where there could have been little incentive to win, the Green Bay Packers proved themselves to be a proud team. Behind number 16, Randy Johnson, who was acquired near season's end for the waiver price of $100, the Packers looked as though they would dominate the game. Johnson was superb, passing accurately and confidently. Knocking at touchdown's door, Johnson dropped back, found no one open, and so barreled in for the score But the Falcons came back and slashed to a 20-10 lead. It was a wet, miserable game of little import, a time when most teams would just play out the clock. But for some reason, call it pride, the Packers wanted to win, and so they went after it. Eric Torkelson's flyover gave Green Bay a 24-20 victory. A victory that was perhaps important only because it showed a self-respecting team that cared.